Good afternoon, welcome to Teleislas News, the most relevant and important information of the day. The hearing of the departmental governor, Everett Hawkins Green, was held during the morning hours today in the presence of the prosecutor, Victor Salcedo, who presented the argument for the indictment of the main leader of the island territory. The hearing will continue tomorrow, and we will be expanding this news as the departmental administration and the prosecutor's office provide more information about what happened at the hearing. Officials of the departmental government took over the pedestrian pathway of Sprat Bight to remove vehicles that were improperly parked in this place.
Seeking to recover the public space that is irregularly occupied by motorcycles in the Sprat Bight pedestrian pathway, the Department of Mobility, through its Blue Agents, deployed an operation to immobilize vehicles parked in the pedestrian circulation zone.
Aquí la idea es que podamos hacer un trabajo articulado.
Here the idea is that we can do a joint work with the entities that ensure that the pedestrian pathway is a place of recreation for the community and our illustrious tourists. So the idea is that we understand that the pedestrian pathway is not a place to park all kinds of vehicles. No, sir. We have to be aware that the pedestrian pathway is a place of recreation for the community. Likewise, this situation that we see there is presented in different parts of the island, as in the red zone with the famous rentals inside. We are going to make a joint effort with the Secretariats of Tourism, Planning, Government and Mobility. This is something that Governor Everett Hawkins Green wants us to get done.
The work of recovery of public spaces through the Mobility Secretariat will be extended to the commercial area of the department, where they will seek to decongest and rescue pedestrian traffic areas occupied by badly parked vehicles.
And the Ombudsman's office warns about the situation of sanitary landfills and dumps in 16 departments, since there are 94 unauthorized final disposal sites, which risk a violation of human rights of the surrounding communities, and amongst them there is San Andres.
The Ombudsman's office alerted about the situation in the operation and disposal of waste in landfills, transition cells, and open dumps in 16 departments of the country, including San Andres.
At the Ombudsman's office, we set aside the situation of sanitary landfills, dumps, and transition cells in 16 departments. The entity followed up on landfills in San Andres and Old Providence, Cesar, Magdalena, Chocó, Bucaramanga, Santander, Nariño, Putumayo, Antioquia, Cauca, Sucre, Amazonas, Casanare, Cundinamarca, and Tolima. After visiting the final waste disposal sites and meeting with the surrounding communities, we found that there are 94 sites that are at risk of human rights violations. We were able also to establish that some authorized disposal sites are reaching their useful life.
After reviewing data from the Residential Public Utilities Superintendency, the Ombudsman's office found that there are 94 unauthorized final disposal sites with risk of violation of human rights of the surrounding communities.
The Ombudsman's office calls on the Ministries of Environment and Housing to review the terms of reference for the construction of sanitary landfills and adopt issues such as citizen participation, area of influence, use of waste, and control of vectors in the new methodology of the preparation of environment impacts study.
The entity will continue to monitor these waste disposal sites throughout the country and will submit a report before the end of the year.
And in Teleislas News, the community shared its opinion after the alert issued by the Ombudsman's office. Inhabitants of the neighboring sectors of the sanitary landfill expressed their concern as they consider that their rights have been violated.
For the community of Schooner Bight, their rights are being violated by the sanitary landfill situation, as it has generated for years the proliferation of insects, pests, and bad odors after considering that it has not been adequately managed.
Good morning. My name is Emilio Fargs from Schooner Bight sector. We've been total affect with the Rayon Territory because we've been invaded by cockroach, rat, mosquito, and many more situations. Fly one time in the rain plenty. And when the light in a dry weather, the light of fire for months, for weeks, where the neighborhood full of smoke, and the smoke going to the house them. Nobody can in the house or you can't out the door.
The talk is about this basurero we have here, this magic garden. That is something is a danger for us in this community of Schooner Bight. First is like a time bomb too, because it's a big mountain and in the bottom, I understand that gas is in the bottom and that is a danger too. The next is the contamination. The contamination, sometimes we can't breathe around here just through the scent of that garbage. And the animals, them that they have up there, like the rat, the serpent, the wowler, because we don't have serpent, wowler, the rat, the mosquito, them, all different kind of animal, insects, the fly, them. About a month ago, I killed a big wowler behind my house. I imagine that wowler come from the side. I imagine out the side they come from. And the rat, them, no care how we set poison, the rat them still come and the rat them big, them favor rabbit the way them big. And with the mosquito them, well, the Secretary of Health come and said they want to give us a chat about the dengue, but they never give we only tell we if we continue with the program and we can give we one paper, what we must do for avoid the dengue.
In other news, the National Institute of Professional Technical Training, Infotep, develops a call that seeks to strengthen entrepreneurship on the island.
In order to support new entrepreneurship initiatives in the department, Infotep has opened a call for funding for entrepreneurs.
By promoting this initiative, we are providing an opportunity not only to study at Infotep, but also to have the possibility to start their business models. The first 4 winners will be given a seed capital contribution in kind. They will not be given the resource in money, they will be given it in kind. The main requirements are to be an Infotep student or an Infotep graduate. On the website www.infotepsite.edu.co, you will find a QR code where you will be able to see a registration form on your cell phone.
Registration to access this financing offer for entrepreneurs will be open until September 30th.
And today, 27th of September, is the World Tourism Day, an important day for the islands, considering that the main economic income of the department comes from tourism. The Secretary of Tourism gave an excellent assessment of what has been the development of tourism in the islands.
The archipelago is still one of the favorite destinations for national and international visitors. San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina continue to break records among the most visited and requested places by travelers. For this reason, it is necessary to highlight the Day of Tourism, which is commemorated precisely to make the international community aware of the social, cultural, and economic value of this activity. According to the Secretary of Tourism, tourist occupancy has been quite high this year.
We've been having a fairly high occupancy rate, so the increase was visible. The difference between before the week of recess and after the week of recess is not going to be so big. Now, we are having an occupancy rate of over 80% during the week of recess. We can reach 95%. So if we look at it, it is a very low percentage versus before when we managed the 3 seasons, low, medium, and high. Right now, we are basically in high season the whole year.
From the Secretariat of Tourism, more than Sun Beach and Sand, cultural tourism has been strengthening. By means of tourism, the island and racial culture can be promoted and strengthened.
We are working with the Association of Fair Tables, looking for ways to train them and to create some very nice typical racial uniforms to create the route and to find a way to give them some kind of stand or booth where they can begin to have their meals so that they begin to be a little more visible.
With pride and satisfaction, the World Tourism Day is made visibly in our department. The Tourism Secretariat of the department continues to work to ensure safety and comfortable stay for visitors who choose to visit the department.
And in the framework of the World Tourism Day, the Chamber of Commerce will lead a conference on environmental tourism as a mechanism for the conservation of the territory this afternoon.
Today's conversation on environmental tourism in the framework of the World Tourism Day will be attended by Sebastián Ospina, political scientist and former Secretary of Tourism, and Jorge dos Oceanos Sanchez as panelists during the meeting. The information was provided by Jennifer Yepes, Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce.
Vamos a tener un conversatorio con dos ponentes súper importantes.
We're going to have a nice talk about an orientation towards sustainable tourism today in World Tourism Day, and we want to invite you to turn the tourism we're doing into sustainable activities. We all need to work to have a department, a destination to show that it's sustainable. We have been having certain talks on business strengthening units and innovation workshops, and we have seen how we have been generating transitions in certain types of businesses becoming sustainable service offerings.
The conference will be held today at 2 p.m. in the Alejandro Rankin Room.
Our regional channel Teleislas will be part of a new proposal that seeks to exalt the country's tourist diversity through a journey that they can enjoy from their homes. It is the first docu-reality on sustainable tourism in which the 8 regional channels participate, called Ruta Colombia. If you want to know more details and participate, go to www.rutaporcolombia.com and fill out the form. At this time, we continue with sport news with Victor Fusalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the island. A great evening or exchange in baseball with a visit of a team from Cartagena. Definitely, the baseball exchange play an important role in the formation of young baseball players, who from the early ages are trained with these exchanges that serve for their preparation as future athletes. These baseball exchanges between the clubs of Falcons of Cartagena and the different clubs of San Andres and Providence has satisfied both the young players and coaches. One of these games was between the team of the Hill and the Falcons, which had beneficial outcome for both clubs. This was stated by Falcons manager Andy Garcia.
We did well in the game as we observed the talent that can be seen here in San Andres. There is a lot of talent, and they are talented children. It is a good way to exchange talents, both from Cartagena and from here. I always think that the exchange between teams is very good, for it cultivates friendships. The children are demonstrating their talent both nationally and in this case of us who came from Cartagena. It is always a good step to exploit those talents that can be found elsewhere. This is a sport where discipline is very important, and that is complemented with the support of parents. It is a good tool to get out of the bad things that the street has. This is a good sport to keep children active, and it is always a good as a sport. It can open doors to many people, both adults and children.
These scrimmages add experience to the little ball players that in the future could be seen as professional baseball players, or why not on the big leagues, as said manager Andy Garcia. And with another great evening of football festival at the Erwin O'Neill Football Stadium. The Children's Soccer Tournament and other minor categories of the Departmental League that took place at the Erwin O'Neill Stadium ended successfully. The final provided exciting matches that will keep both fans and members of the different clubs in a day of harmony and soccer integration. We spoke with the league president, Lyle Newball, who told us more details.
I'm really grateful. I'm really happy about what I saw today. Today we're ending the tournament of the inferior category of football here in the island. And well, you can see that everybody is united here, the fathers, the sport players, the trainers, the coaches, all of them. And I believe one of the things that we need here in San Andres is to have the community unite. And precisely that is what the football do. Well, today we're finishing with the inferior categories, and the idea is to continue with a tournament that we call it FIFA Grassroots. You was last year, one time we made a capacitation for the coaches then in FIFA Grassroots. And the idea is to do like a festival from now October until December with all the teams then that the league have. I believe this is a work of the board, the group of the league. And I believe we are growing little by little and we are progressing little by little. This is organization. When we do it, the most important thing for us is to have respect amongst the team them, to teach the kids them to play with fair play.
We will continue with other tournaments to close the year with an atmosphere of entertainment and soccer in the different categories, said Newbar. And this will be all in sports for the moment. I am Victor Fusalva, Teleislas News.
Thank you, Victor. With Sport News, you reach to the end of this broadcast, but we see you tonight at 8 p.m. with more Teleislas News. Good afternoon.